Okay, we are now recording. So any misuses of the word of the day intrinsic will be held against you. All right. Would we start with the club mission? We provide a supportive and positive learning experience which members are empowered to develop communication, leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. First of all, tonight, it is my intrinsic pleasure to introduce our newest members, Leticia and Erin. Both of them are giving icebreakers tonight, so everybody please give them a hand. Also, it's my pleasure to say that sometimes when you attend Toastmasters conferences, or especially participate in contests, you get some bling. So Brian Turner, would you please come up here front and center? All right. Brian Turner, Jay, won second place representing our area in the speech contest, the international speech contest.
Oh, wow.
Cool. Nice. And so everybody's please.
Would you mind doing the same for Michael?
Okay.
Okay.
He has some bling too.
Yes.
Bling.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Michael's bling was taking first place in the international at our area level. So.
Oh wow! When was that?
So that was beginning of March. Yeah. So yeah, the bling caught up with us.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for representing.
No, pleasure. Other than that, we have a full fun meeting tonight. And the theme of the day is a rose by any other name. Starting off our meetings, typically, we go to one of Shakespeare's lesser known quotes. I know everybody knows the quote that brevity is the soul of wit, but our humorist will prove that levity is the soul of wit. So please come on up, Curtis Bennett. Yay.
Why am I here?
Great question. Humorist.
Oh, so why did the computer program refuse to use external data? Because it only cared about its intrinsic code. It was a bit too self-centered. Why did the gold nugget break up with the copper wire? It said, our connection isn't genuine. My love for you isn't intrinsic. It's just superficial. Finally, why did the investor buy stock in the company that made trampolines? He knew the business had high intrinsic value. The profits were bound to bounce back.
So our Toastmaster of the day is a little bit Grace. She's a little bit delayed, so Curtis is going to come right back up here, pick up the slack and start the meeting.
Get this thing on the road.
Indeed. Good.
Oh. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Our theme tonight is a rose by any other name. The phrase comes from Shakespeare. I think that Mike already did this.
Dude can.
Yeah, so what's in a name? That which we call a rose by any other name would smell as sweet.
Okay.
But tonight I'd like to explore another question. What about the names we give ourselves? Many of us carry labels that have followed us for years. Perhaps you've said, I'm shy. I'm not a leader. I'm terrible at public speaking. I'm too young, or I'm too old. I'm not good with names. That's me. I'm not creative. And finally, I'm not good enough. Sometimes these labels come from others, a teacher, a boss, a family member, a difficult experience. Sometimes they're labels we've created ourselves. The problem is that labels can become self-fulfilling. We repeat them often enough that they stop being opinions and start feeling like facts. Toastmasters is full of people rewriting their stories. Perhaps that's one of the greatest intrinsic gifts of this organization. We arrive with labels. Through practice, encouragement, and a little courage, we discover those labels don't define us. With that in mind, let's begin our journey tonight and see what new names and new possibilities we discover. Our meeting is comprised of 3 sections: prepared speeches, impromptu speeches, and evaluation. I'd like to invite our general evaluator, Raul Aria. Please, your role, sir, and call upon your team.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. My fellow Toastmasters, growth doesn't happen by accident. Right? Growth happens when you get feedback. Just like a golfer at the golfing range can swing at the ball 1,000 times at the driving range and never know he has a flaw until somebody tells him he has a flaw. That being said, evaluation is an intrinsic part of the Toastmaster journey. My role as the general evaluator is to evaluate the meeting as a whole. We have other members of our evaluation team that are going to give us more detailed reports on the different parts of our meeting. Let me introduce some of them. Mr. Timer, would you please come up and introduce your role?
I will be your timer. 2 icebreakers. It's 4 minutes. Yellow light at 5 minutes. The red light at 6 minutes. At 6 minutes and 30 seconds, I start flashing it all wildly. And at about 7 minutes, I'll just go for the shepherd's hook. All right. And then for table topics, we have got 1 minute, you get the green light. Minute and a half, you get the yellow light. 2 and then at 3 minutes, we'll just scream stop. Finally, for our speech evaluations, at 2 minutes, you get the green light. 2:30, you get the yellow. 3, you get the red. And at 3:30, we just say, oh, that person's a DTM. Don't time me. And I will give a report at the end of the night.
Thank you, Mr. Timer. Next up, we have our WAG. Mr. WAG, please come up and introduce your role. Sir.
Fellow Toastmasters, I'm Edgar Samaniego. I'll be serving as WAG. And as grammarian, I'll be listening for effective use of language, strong word choices, creative expressions, and grammatical errors such as and you know what I mean. As grammarian, I'm reminded of a principle: be quick to listen and slow to speak. Tonight, I'll be mostly listening, but at the end, I'll share a report of the observations I made for growth and communication. Intrinsic is the word of the day. It means belonging naturally, something that is essential or inherent. An example is one of the intrinsic benefits of Toastmasters is the opportunity for personal growth. Thank you.
Now, I will return for the evaluation portion of the meeting once that happens, but for now, let's turn it over back to our Toastmaster of the day.
Good.
Thank you, Raul. All right. Now, it is time for our first speaker of the night. And she is giving us an icebreaker, the title of which is What I Learned from a Cactus. Leticia Walpole, What I Learned from a Cactus. And Mr. Clymer, this is an icebreaker, so 4 to 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Toastmasters. We don't have any guests, but good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here today. Let me see your hands, only 3 people, please. Tell me what distinguishes a cactus from a cactus. If I ask you, tell me about a cactus, how do you define it, sir?
Think about my girlfriend.
Okay, how do you define a cactus?
Green.
Green. How about you, sir?
Prickly.
Prickly. Okay. Well, I wrote a book titled What I Learned from a Cactus. On May 5th of 2021, it was nice and sunny, nice and bright, and we moved into our home that is going to become a retirement home. And this lady before me left this beautiful cactus sitting in front of her porch. And I look at them and they were in these little pots. And I thought, what would happen if these cactus, I was to put them in bigger pots with more soil and then move them underneath the porch away from the weather? I thought, what happened if I do that and they both die? I'm going to leave one outside and I'm going to put one inside underneath the porch so it's protected by the weather. Every day I look at both of them for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Nobody else did, but I did. I will water them the same. I will care for them the same. They had the same type of pot, the same amount of soil. After 4 years, it was for me an amazing discovery. The cactus that was underneath the porch turned out to be weak, broken, no color, and they look completely unhealthy. The cactus that I left in the weather turned out to be these beautiful, tall cactus. One day I would like for you to come to my house so that I can introduce you to my cactus. A story of this topic is often protect our children and ourselves from the elements of the stress, the weather, the change. But what we don't know is that there's cactus. There's over 1,500 types of different cactus. Wow. A rose by any other name. You can call it a nopal. You can call it by different names. It's still a cactus. And it's intrinsic with him to be strong, to persevere, to grow around rocks, around sand, and hot weather, and it still has flowers. Imagine, it still has flowers and some hot fruits. Did you know that a cactus can actually survive for up to 150 years?
Wow.
Some cactus grow 40 feet tall and they can last 150 years. Their roots are superficial and they can curl up after they get enough water, or they can extend far, far away to get the water from precipitation. And they do that to survive. For us, the roots on us is the different challenges that we overcome, the different families upbringing that we learn from and overcome, the different cultural diversities, the ups and downs, the weather, the difficulties of life, the stabbings in the back, the losing of the job or relationship, the fatalities and losing our family members or friends that we love. All of that develops our roots. And those roots makes us strong, so strong, they forms a character. After 33 years of serving in the United States Army and deploying to war 5 different times to Iraq, Afghanistan, Korea, Panama City, fighting the Taliban and working as an intelligence officer, I can tell you that by me coming from Mexico, observing the opportunities of this country, there's no way that nobody in this country, and this beautiful country, can do anything that they want. They can accomplish anything they want. On Memorial Day of 2027, I'm going to be performing a monodrama. A monodrama is a one-person play, and it's going to be done in San Antonio, and I'm going to do a tour across the United States. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm just putting it together right now. As Steve Jobs said, that you connect the dots going backwards, not forward. Remember that. It's intrinsic on me to be a strong, to be a motivator, to be a role model, to be a leader. Having 5 children, they have looked up to me, and they are great. And they are great because they see it on me. I encourage all of us in this room and friends and families that you have to intrinsic in them the ethics of being ethical, hard worker, to learn from a cactus. And when I see a cactus now, I see the beauty of their thorns. Their thorns are there to protect them. We also protect ourselves. We protect ourselves by the people that are harming us or the weather, and that's good. But we also have a strong roots just like the cactus. We are strong, persevere your dreams. Thank you, fellow Toastmasters.
Thank you, Erin. Not Erin. Leticia. Getting ahead of myself here. So, no, Mr. Timer, a minute. Glowing Rose. Thank you, Mr. Timer. Okay, our second speech of the day is also an icebreaker. Miss Erin Wall is our speaker today. Please welcome Erin Wall.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters and friends. My name is Erin Wall, and I am happy to announce that I am officially a new Toastmaster member.
Yeah.
I am so excited to be here. I already see so many lovely faces that have just welcomed and embraced me. So thank you for this. I am so grateful for my time here already, even within this first 2 weeks. I am here today to introduce a little bit about myself. That way, when y'all look at the seat next to you, I'm not just a stranger, but hopefully a friend. So, a little bit about me. I was born and raised in San Antonio, Texas. I love it here. You will hear me say that all the time, and I will never leave. I have many hobbies that I have learned to come to love, many of which I will drop within a month, I'll be honest with you. I have a really short attention span to them, so I will get really good at something for a month, and then the next month I just won't talk about it ever again. My current hobby at the moment is sourdough. With sourdough, it takes a very long time to grow it and have a culture, and then all that just to make bread. Probably takes a month to even make your first loaf. So that is what I've been doing this past month. Maybe next month, you'll hear me talk about something else. I am half of a middle child, half of an oldest child. And I'll explain that. I have a older half brother. He was at my house at the weekends. We'd see him occasionally. He is my wonderful brother. But then during the week, I was the oldest child. I was elder of the house, in charge of my younger brother. So I pick on him a lot, but he loves me. Half of my family is in Kerrville, Texas. So I am back and forth in San Antonio to Kerrville. And that is the birthplace of my hillbilly accent. Y'all will hear it. I say things like skeeters and oil. I won't say oil. I can't do it. So if anyone wants to correct me on my pronunciation of oil, you can write it down, but I won't look at it. But that comes why I'm here today. With my hillbilly accent, there is nothing wrong with it, and I embrace it. But occasionally I say y'all a little too many times and have some filler words that I would like to get rid of. With my job, I am a real estate agent here in San Antonio, and my job is literally to talk to people. Every single day, I calm someone off of the ledge. Buying your home is the biggest purchase you will ever make, and also one of the most stressful, I will admit. So the way I speak to people really truly does make a difference in how that transaction goes. So that is why I am here today, to hopefully improve my speech, learn how I speak to people, learn how to better communicate, and just learn how to, speak a little better, even if it's not for my job. So I am so excited to be here today, and I am really looking forward to improving my speech, making new friends, and learning a little something along the way. Thank you.
The timer, another minute on the clock, please. Thank you. Now, moving right along, it's time for table topics. And our topics master today is Ms. Lorelei.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster of the Day and Mrs. Toastmaster of the Day and fellow Toastmasters. This evening's, okay, I'm turning this up because I don't like y'all seeing my nose. All right. We have our theme as a rose by any other name. So the Shakespearean quote, a rose by any other name would smell as sweet. The question to first is, do you think names and labels define who we are, or is our true essence unchangeable? Do you think names and labels define who we are, or is our true essence unchangeable? Is there anyone who would like to address that one? Really? Come on up.
I'm not listening.
She had her headphones on. Do you think names and labels define who we are? Or is our true essence unchangeable?
In short, I think nicknames or mean names or like bully names, they can change who you are. Because remember back in those school days, what where bullies would make fun of some kids? After that bullying, you could have noticed that some kids have changed. I personally am not speaking personally as an experience because I am homeschooled. And I think that nicknames can change who they are for better or for worse. I can't see the like stoplight thingy. Oh, okay. Yes. My favorite mythical animal is a jackalope.
Okay, that's a good one.
Shake hands. Perfect. My next question, in Beauty and the Beast, the petals fall of a rose as time runs out. Have you all seen Beauty and the Beast? Okay, those petals, they fall when as time is running out. If you had a magical clock ticking down to a major life goal, what goal are you trying to achieve before that last petal falls? If you had a magical clock ticking down to a major life goal, what goal are you trying to achieve before the last petal falls? I have any volunteers?
Give it a shot if you have anybody else.
Neil. All right.
Great, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hi, everyone. I'm Neil. It's great to see you all again. I know I've been gone for a little while, but now I'm back. One of the goals that I have set for myself, that if I had a magical clock, trying to beat all the petals falling, is I want to get my program management professional certification. I had set a lofty goal for myself back in 2020 to get my project management professional certification. And I hit that goal. So now I feel I've reached that. So set another goal and for my program management professional cert, and I'm gonna go for it. This is reaching for some goals and hitting them and striving for more has really taught me a lot. And I'll tell you, I've tried to instill a lot of intrinsic values upon my own daughter. I must say, she's made me extremely proud, graduating from high school just recently in the top 1% of her class. So it's extremely made me proud. Going to be going to college, and I can't be more grateful. So going back to the goals before the pedal falls, I've hit mine. I'm going to hit another one, and I really am proud to instill those values in my child. Thank you.
So speaking of flowers, roses specifically, if you could create a new color of rose, what would it look like? And what would it symbolize? You know how roses colors symbolize certain things. I don't know if you knew that or not. They do. Red is love, yellow is friendship, white is purity. Yeah. But if you could create a new color for a rose, what would it look like? Or what color would it be? And what would that color symbolize? It can't even be in your own life. I'll say, come on up.
Maybe, but not today. You'll be surprised, but I feel that if I have to create a new rose from scratch, I will choose to have the black color. Why? I know that the color black has a really maybe not so divine connotations, but actually what happened with the color black is by nature it absorbs all the colors, and that is why it's going to be just a summary of all the good attributes that all the colors have. Color, because the black is going to be absorbing everything, and it's going to be representing all the good things that you can have of the rest of the colors that you have in the roses. It's going to be finally what is going to be taking everything, and it's going to be intrinsically all the values that you're looking for. And not just that, if you're going to be for a smell of the color of black, it should be something that when you close your eyes, it's going to be something great for you. And for me, that color is, that smell is cinnamon. Because cinnamon just brings back to my childhood. And remember all those desserts that my mom did to me in Boston. So that will be my new color and my new flower.
Fantastic. I have occasionally been accused of wearing rose-colored glasses. Do you understand? Do you know what having rose-colored glasses means? Being optimistic about everything, never seeing the downside. So the question is, describe a time that you viewed a person or situation through rose-colored glasses, only to realize later that reality was quite different. anyone care to share a time of rose-colored glasses for yourself? That they were, okay, come on up, Erin.
Rose-colored glasses were something that I never had on ever. I would always see the dark side of things, what could go bad, what could go wrong. But there was one time I put on my rose-colored glasses to be optimistic for my clients. They were first-time home buyers looking at this beautiful house. They fell in love with it the second they walked through the door. It had just the right amount of bedrooms for them and their children. It had a large backyard for their puppies. It was perfect. We submitted an offer, it got accepted, and we started our inspections on it. And our inspector let us know that it may have had the worst ever roof on it, as well as a large crack in the foundation going right through the middle of the house.
Oh,
That to my clients was just heartbreaking. But I wanted to save this deal. I wanted to save this house for them. They really wanted it. So we asked the sellers, can we maybe help negotiate for y'all to fix it? And they said yes. My rose-colored glasses were on, but I let them know they had to fix the foundation first and the roof second, because if they did it vice versa, the foundation would mess up the roof and the roof would have been for nothing. My rose-colored glasses were on. The seller said, yes, we'll fix the foundation first, not second. And I get to the house the next day and the roof was completely off the house. There were 10 men standing on it and no foundation work had yet been done. Unfortunately, my rose-colored glasses turned black, as then I had to tell my clients that unfortunately, even though we had asked for something, the sellers didn't do it. And even though it broke their heart, in the end, I got them in a much better home for a much better deal. And even though it was bad, we saved the deal.
nicely done. All right. Despite rose-colored or not glasses, that's fantastic. So if you were a rose or a flower of one kind or another, tell us what flower you would be. And then what life advice would you give to your fellow flowers? Matt or Ron?
Can you repeat the question?
Absolutely. Absolutely. You are a rose or a flower, if you don't want to be a rose. First of all, what flower are you? What kind of flower are you? And then what kind of life advice as a flower would you give to your fellow flowers?
All right, I'll do it.
All right.
Yeah, this is a tough one. I'm going to echo Neil here first because I've been out a couple weeks, but my name's Matt. So yeah, good to see you all here tonight. So if I were a flower, I think I'm at my appropriate latitude. Finally, I spent many years, and I think I mentioned this during when I gave my icebreaker, in the wrong location, way too far north. So I would have to be something that is very seasonal, summer only. I think I would choose a plumeria. I really like the tropics. When I spent time in Indonesia, I fell in love with the plumeria. I even planted one in front of my house at that time. And I learned from my neighbors that that was actually a really inappropriate thing to do. That's a graveyard flower over there. So it ended up being the wrong thing. But I kind of feel like they're pretty, lively. Pretty, yeah, very gorgeous flowers, fragrant as well. So that's what I would be. But here in San Antonio, they don't do very well. They need a lot of care. They need some protection in the winter. They need a little bit of covering and they'll need a little bit of TLC. So I would say my advice to other flowers, if you're in a place where it's maybe not the exactly perfect spot for you, it's not your perfect location, like an orchid might find its perfect little ledge. Just give yourself a little grace. Try to get through the winter. Put a jacket on. Do what you can, and just get through because better days will come. Better days will come for you. So that would be my advice to other families.
Wow, thank you.
Do we have time for one more question?
Yeah, just one.
Okay. So stop and smell the roses. In our fast-paced digital world, it's easy to forget to stop and smell the roses. What is a small everyday detail that you've noticed that has brought you unexpected joy? In our fast-paced digital world, it's easy to forget to stop and smell the roses. Right, Bradley? What is a small everyday detail you've noticed lately that has brought you unexpected joy?
So it's writing up that evaluation. No, I think I've had this revelation about 14 years ago, actually, and I've enjoyed it ever since. First of all, I have to preface by saying my wife is a cat person. It's intrinsic in her nature not to like dogs. And I am a dog person, and it's rather intrinsic in my nature not to like cats. We each brought a dog and a cat into our marriage, and they eventually tolerated one another enough to live with each other. Well, after my dog passed away and her cat passed away, we picked up like 3 other cats along the way. And my wife recognized that I was feeling a little left out of this picture. So she said, I saw a puppy you might like. Should we get it? And I said, if you take me to see the dog, I'm getting the dog. And she says, well, let's go just look. And I ended up getting the dog, plus her sister from the same litter. And we've had these 2 little dogs ever since. The thing about these dogs that make me just slow down and relax and enjoy life a little bit is that when they want attention, they'll paddle up to me and they'll either jump up on my lap. They're small dogs. So they'll jump up on my lap, or they'll jump up on the couch and cuddle, or they'll jump up on the bed and roll over on their backs and want their bellies rubbed. They're very good about asking for attention. And I do my darndest to stop whatever I'm doing and rub their bellies or scratch them behind the ears or whatever it is they want. And I find what that does for me is it lets me slow down from whatever I'm doing and just enjoy the company of my little dogs. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot more time with these dogs. I recognize that they're not going to be with us a whole lot longer. And I'm hopeful that my wife will let me get more when these 2 pass on. But for right now, I'm going to slow down and smell the dog. Well, enjoy the dog. Papa Pence.
Fantastic. Okay, so to recap, I would like for you to tear off a portion of something, paper, and vote for your favorite table topics. Recap is, do you think names and labels define who we are, or is our essence unchangeable? That was Katie. She said, yes, it changes who you are. Neil, the life goal that he's trying to achieve before the last petal falls is project management certification, or what was it?
Program.
Program manager, sorry.
That's okay.
Program, I wrote project. Okay, that was the other one that did. Erin, does not have rose-colored glasses. She's usually not a rose-colored glasses kind of girl. But in not having those rose-colored glasses, she did help her rose-colored glasses clients to get a proper home that they can enjoy. Jose, his new color of rose and symbolization is a black rose. Nice, like smells like cinnamon for life, right? Fantastic. Matt is going to be a plumeria flower, and his life advice is to persevere and add a coat. It will get better. Let's see. And Brad will stop and smell the roses and enjoy his puppies. So please vote for your favorite table topics, and I will come around and you can hand it to me, and it will be announced at the end of the evening. I'll turn control of our meeting back over to our Toastmaster of the day, Curtis. I'll bump elbows with him because I've got elbow.
Okay. So now it's time for the evaluation portion of our meeting. Raul, please.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. So we've reached the evaluation portion of our meeting. Here's where we get our gifts, which feedback is a gift. So embrace it. Our first evaluator evaluating Leticia is the one and only Brad. Come on up, Brad.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, and most especially Leticia. Wow. Wow, what a speech. I just have to ask you, because I think I caught, you said you wrote that book?
I did.
Okay, so I thought you said that so quick. I thought, really? Did you write that? Hold that book up again for me if you don't mind. And the reason I have you do this is it really was a great way to capture the audience's attention. And now I want to go down to the library and check it out. That's just marvelous. Thank you very much. I'm really impressed. Your whole speech was very impressive because you came up here, talked about a subject you knew a lot about, and unlike a normal icebreaker, it wasn't about you. It was more about this cactus lesson that you had. And then you used that cactus lesson to share stories about yourself, about your time in the service, about the lessons that you learned from the cactus, about being more resilient if you're out in the weather rather than if you're up underneath the patio. Which means I probably ought to get out of my house a little bit more often. Being retired, I'm finding I'm staying at home too much. But nonetheless, I thought it was a really well done speech. Did you have any notes with you up here? I didn't see you look down at any notes. That's why I was asking. You had great eye contact. You connected with everybody in the room at least once and spoke with them, which added more impact to your presentation. You spoke very clearly, very loudly. I know that Michael and Grace in the back of the room could hear you because your voice was very clear and it carried very, very well. First-time speakers can get a little bit nervous and kind of muffle into amongst themselves. You didn't do that at all. You had a presence in here where you were able to use gestures to talk about the root system and how some of them grow very high and how you were counting off some things in your presentation. All of that was really marvelous. Your skills in presenting are very solid and you can really take them and polish them up tremendously well. I do think I hear a full-fledged on-the-road kind of speech with this, which is where I think you're going. There's actually too much to try to cram into a 4 to 6 minute speech, I'm sure. So as you build this out, my recommendation is to start off with that cactus story, because that's the one that's going to lay the groundwork for the lessons that you share. And you're going to have, depending on how long you want to go, 3 to 5, maybe 7 lessons, life lessons that you learn from this cactus. And for each one of them, share how it relates to the cactus, and then how the personal story is that you learned that was a lesson from the cactus. And then you can go back and reiterate. And then at the end of the presentation, you go back and say the first lesson was blump, 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 blump. So that way people will walk away with those lessons and hopefully remember the stories attached to those lessons. But you already had lots of anchor points in there. We're all going to picture the cactus out there with the long root system that curls up if it doesn't need that much surface area. We're going to picture the cactus underneath your patio, all wilted and pale and kind of like me, just kind of blobbing along, not really surviving, not challenging. And the one that's robust out in the yard. So you have great visual, you make great word pictures. Keep up the good work.
Thank you so much.
This is wonderful.
Awesome. Our next evaluator evaluating Erin is none other than the master of the microphone, Mr. Brian Turner.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gentleman Veteran, my fellow Toastmasters and guests, and especially Erin. Congratulations on speech number 1. There's always a lot to get up here and deliver your icebreaker, and through your icebreaker, we got a bit of your charm, a little bit of your hillbilly fun personality, as well as a great sense of who you are through your family in Kerrville, as well as your goals, which I really like hearing about your goals in your speech, which is what we always take from Toastmasters, is to not be great here, but to be great out there. And like Brad with Leticia, I did see that you used some notes. You spoke from the heart, which is always very good. Probably a couple things you can try. I did notice that during the speech you had your hands in your pocket the whole time, which I guess it's the other choice between that and straddling the podium all the time. So maybe put a couple more hand gestures. And also feel free to explore the space. I mean, obviously within reason, since you have the iPad here, but the camera does follow you around. So keep that in mind the next speech. And you do have a lot of energy, so probably express a lot more of it. So overall, it is a fantastic speech. Look forward to hearing more. And Godspeed on number 2.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So now let's bring up another one of our evaluators, Mr. Timer. Please come up, give your report.
We have no DTMs in the audience, that is, don't time me. Everybody did super on time. First of all, Leticia, you got 6:15. So you were right on the money, especially for the type of speech that you were giving on your icebreaker. So good on you there. You also, Erin, you were 3:45. So just a hair short,
I
but
couldn't see the timer.
oh, okay.
But I tried my best.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yep, blame the timer.
To be fair, me practicing my speech over the week around 4 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, you were there. You're good. Table topics. Katie. 1 minute. Exactly. Yeah, I'm impressed. You watched for that light. You added that last sentence in. And you nailed it. All right, Neil, 116. Good job there. Jose, 149. Erin, 205. Matt, 154. And Brad, 208.
Well done.
Finally, for speech evaluator, Brad, 305. And Brian, 155. So we were pretty good on time.
Next up, Mr. Wag. Please come up, give us your report.
We had a great session for the word of the day, and we racked up about 15 words of the day. Mike Hall had 2. Curtis had 3. Gray somehow had 1. And Raul had 1. Leticia had 4. Neil had 1. Jose had 1, and Brad had 2. For the all counter log, I had 1 for Leticia, 1 for Matt, and Brian had a so and repeat like Brad. And then for the I had an incorrect or I think it was like a double clutch for Curtis or evaluator. The word was evaluator. Leticia used the word superficial, which is very nice, and I like the way she used the Steve Jobs and connecting dots. For Katie, she added mystical animal jackalope. That was nice. Jose used the word divine. Love that. Lorelai, I like the question with the rose-colored glasses. I never saw it that way, so it was an eye opener. Matt, he had a lot of great words that I could not write them all down, but I like the way he used echo for he kind of repeating what Neil he came up here. He used the word lively and TLC. Brad, like the way you use smell the dogs. And Raul, let's see. Feedback is a gift.
Yes.
Wow.
Great job, Baker. Awesome. So now for my general evaluation of the meeting, right? So took a couple of notes, right? I think we started, I think about a minute and a half, a little after, which is no big deal. I think there's a lot of movement going on and such, but that's kind of the only negative I saw, if you could call it a negative. But besides that, I always say that you always serve the SHIT sandwich first, right? Then you go with the positive, right? Put the rose-colored glasses on after that, right? Well, we had good, awesome speeches. Leticia, seems like you've done this before, once or twice, right? So very good job. Erin, great job as well for your icebreaker. Table topics were very well explained. I think used the theme of the day very well, and the topics were excellent. So they're good use of the theme. I love Curtis's when he powered through when the waitress was in here, and he didn't even fluster it. He was just like boom, 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 going, and so great job with that. And the evaluations, the timers report, and your report, very precise, very good. Thank you very much. And now I return control of the lectern to our Toastmaster.
Good job on the evaluation as the general evaluator. I think that's the easiest role to do, because all you do is you come up and call upon people to give their projects, and then you tell us how good we did at the meeting. So now turn over to our president leader.
So who wants to hear who won table topics? Okay. Roll. So who wants to be Toastmaster of the day? And our theme is Juneteenth. Okay, come on. Need a Toastmaster. Otherwise, I'll do it. You'll have to listen to me all night.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Who wants to be table topics? Sorry, Curtis. Okay. Who wants to be speaker? All right. All right, who wants to be evaluator? Okay. Who wants to be speaker number 2? Any takers for the second slot? Okay, who wants to be general evaluator? Brad, okay. Who wants to be humorist? All right. Edgar for humorist, okay. Who wants to be wag?
I can do that again.
Oh, okay, Erin.
You can split that roll up. Yeah, you can make a word master.
It's my first
Oh, okay, you don't want it split? Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got Jose and Erin.
All the words of the day, or do you want to listen for or double clutches like, or or stuff like that?
I'll do word.
Okay.
I'll do
Okay.
So there's the word. Who's got off?
Oh, Jose.
Neil.
I think we had like 3 then.
Oh, okay.
Who wants to be Mary?
And we need a timer. Okay,
Leticia.
Leticia.
Maybe. I think it's so I.
Excellent.
So you got me for Oz, right?
Yeah.
And there's still opportunity for one more speaker and one more evaluator. I'll
Yeah.
take the second evaluation.
Yeah. Okay. So if you do decide that you want a speaking role, anybody, sorry. Okay. And then Stephen, exactly.
Can I be a evaluator even if I'm on timer?
Both. I personally have caught listening to the speech and I lose track of the time.
You can for that one period of time have somebody else.
Right.
Yeah, I'll take the timer if you want.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the one.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Okay, I like that.
Okay.
I like that.
All right.
I mean, evaluator on timer and with that one. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Okay.
So. Is going to be evaluator. Okay.
All right, we got it. So. So yeah, Brad. Brad, I'll just go ahead and give this to you.
Okay, I think I got it.
And then, sorry, Mr. Sandman, I didn't catch your first name when you came in.
David.
David,
Yeah.
welcome. How'd you hear about us?
My father did Toastmasters for many years.
Oh, cool.
He felt guilty enough to show up one day.
Yes.
I can see what he's all about. Upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah, one week from home. I stop in and kind of learn about the person.
Welcome.
You live down here now? I do. Watch out when you have to meet them. Okay.
Good. Well, welcome. Please come on back. All right. If nobody has any saved rounds, we are adjourned. Going once, going twice? Yes, Katie. Adjourned.
We got adjourned.
Edgar, great job, man.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Way to come in, glad for that. Wait a minute, what? You nailed it. Caffeinated.